Bastina, who've let us have this place today, and Dubrovnik Tourist Board, and Adriatic Sea Change and Dubrovnik Times, who helped make this happen. But most of all today, I wanted to thank, because I seem to always do on Earth Day, I want to thank Mother Earth for the fact it's not raining, and we have pretty nice weather, and I don't think it's going to rain. And for those of you that don't know, I'm usually back in the UK. I run a yoga on the beach, 108 sun salutations on Earth Day. I was due to be doing that back in the UK, and because kind of for obvious reasons I couldn't get back, I thought I'm going to put on a global event, I'm going to put on an online event instead. And then I thought, well, I could do with a nice venue to stream it from and record it from. And in my head, I thought, well, the Lazereti was kind of perfect. You know, the Lazereti was historically a place of healing, wasn't it? Back in 1647, it was a place of quarantine. And it seems that today is going to be, hopefully for you, a place of healing as well. We're going to be sending some of our Lazereti energy through the lines online. So it seems fitting that we're here today. The other reason that I'm feeling that I'm blessed here to be doing this in Croatia is my work is inspired by somebody you might have heard of, our certain Nikola Tesla. So you may be thinking, like, what's wild yoga about? Well, wild yoga means it's basically the premise that the closer to nature we are, the healthier we are. And kind of way back, you know, we all saw that as kind of a hippie thing. Well, actually, when we look at the work of Nikola Tesla, what he knew is that he said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. How does that fit into Earth Day? Well, actually, the Earth has got a vibrational frequency to it. It's actually 7.83 hertz, which is actually the same frequency that the human mind is at. So isn't that fascinating? And when we actually tune in to the Earth's resonance, what it does is it reduces inflammation. This is why I'm barefoot, because I'm acting as a conductor here to the Earth's resonance. So when we tune into the resonance of the Earth, it's got this way of rebalancing our electrical current. For there is an electrical current in everything, and Tesla knew this. This is science. There's an electrical current around us, in the ether, in the earth, and in us. And if we look at the fact that the earth is actually a battery, this changed my life when I realized this. It changed all my work, that the earth is actually a battery. So when we plug into it, we affect our vibrational frequency, our electrical current. And that's the frequency that helps us stay well. So today is a celebration of all that, of Tesla, of Mother Earth, and the fact that we can connect today. I think I've been counting up, I can't list them, but 16 countries today we've got connecting via the World Wide Web, and everybody here today in the Lazereti, 16 countries. For me, the exciting thing about that is, and the relevance of it is that we all share this same earth. So no matter where you are in the world, right here, right now, where we're finding ourselves sitting, it's the same earth that everybody else is sitting. So I think it's a really good message for Earth Day. What tends to happen is when we look after ourselves and we remember that we're all connected, we tend to look after each other better. And when we look after each other and we work together, that is how we come about healing the planet. So that's what today's about. I hope you're going to have a lovely day. The most important thing is, and with wild yoga, it's about going back to nature. We're going to be working to raise the vibrational frequency in your body. So I'm going to invite you just to have a blank sheet in terms of what to expect, and just to go with the sensation. Because the thing about yoga, it's not about what it looks like. You know, we've got used to thinking it's about making a certain shape. It's actually about the sensation and the feeling and raising our energy. For me, it's about healing the body and putting it back into its natural state, because we are creatures of nature. We are wild animals, we are plants, we are vegetables, we are everything that's in nature, we are plants. So, and how do plants grow and move? They don't actually move in lines. So look at how movements are now evolving. It's not a line. It's actually an arc, it's a wave, and it's a spiral. So we're going to be doing lots of arcs, waves, and spirals. And the most important thing I'd like you to remember is that we are all unique plants. You imagine that we're all sharing the same garden this morning, but we're all very unique plants. So everybody's different. You're all a different plant. So what somebody else is doing next to you or on the screen, it doesn't matter. All that matters is what you're doing. And a good gauge for it is, if it feels right, it's right. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. We've all got this not for me box. Feel free to put anything that we're doing in the not for me box. You know, like snakes, not for me box. Okay, and another good gauge for you is to ask yourself, can I breathe? Breathing is pretty important, you know, both on the mat and off the mat. So make sure you can breathe. The breath shouldn't be struggling. It should be your best teacher. And the other thing is, and this is kind of a rule that's unique to me, I think other teachers probably use it, which is make sure you can smile. Right? If you're grimacing in a pose, your body's stressed, it's contracted. You know, your body's stressed if you're stressed. If you can't smile, you're going too hard. That's the main thing. So if any of you are grimacing, I'm going to be looking at you going, then the body relaxes. We want the body to soften. On Earth Day, we're working with the earth element. So we want you to imagine like you're a lump of clay, and we want to soften that clay so it becomes malleable. So we've got the water here as well today, which is great. So we're going to be adding a bit of water to the clay. So the movement's going to be very fluid. So the fluid in the body actually acts as a conductor for our electrical frequency. So when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to, of course, my alarm going off. Excuse me. I'm going to invite you to take your shoes off if you can. Why? Because when we're barefoot, you act as a conductor. And it's not too bad. I've been wandering around barefoot pretty much all morning because I needed to ground myself for obvious reasons. I think we're streaming by the Tea Portal website to, I think, about 300,000 followers. So there's quite a few people watching right now. So saying hello to everybody wherever you are. So we're going to start with cross leg. Now, if you're not comfortable with cross leg, feel free to just have the feet flat in front of you. Feel free to fidget throughout any of this. Feel free to make a pose work for you. But if you're comfortable, we're going to start with the legs crossed. And what we're going to start with is plugging into the earth. So I mentioned the earth's a battery. So we're going to get our sockets ready. So we have 2 fingers, get them the right way around, that would be helpful, and stick your thumb out. And then we're going to plug in. Literally, this is your socket. We often plug in our phones, don't we? But we don't plug in us. So this is our plug-in. The other place is through the sit bones. You can imagine roots coming out through the sit bones. Okay, so just having a wiggle around. Now closing the eyes. I'm just going to take a few minutes to tune in to the earth's resonance. And tune in to our other home, our body. So let's start just by noticing your breathing. If you're lucky enough to be here at the Lazereti today, then you're probably going to be breathing in that beautiful, healing sea air. Allow it to fill the lungs. And as the lungs clear, the mind clears. Just allow yourself to settle into your body. Just noticing how you feel today. And however you feel, just welcome it all. Welcome you, the beautiful, unique plant that you are. Just as you are. Now imagine beneath you, so beneath your sit bones. Imagine the earth beneath you, the layers of the earth, and the magnetic pull of the core of the Earth's center. Maybe you can even imagine coming out through the sit bones, long roots extending down into the layers of the earth. This wondrous, magical earth that we all share this morning. And feel yourself a part of it all. Maybe you can even sense the heartbeat of the earth. And imagine breathing the earth's energy, literally these negative ions, breathing them up into the body by the sit bones and the fingers. As you exhale, it's allowing that energy to infiltrate every cell of your being. Maybe you want to join me this morning in just saying some thanks to Mother Earth for providing this home for us all. A place we can always come back to feel safe and connected. And maybe you'd like to join me in saying thank you to your body, your other home. For carrying you on this journey, on this beautiful planet. And if there's anybody or anything that you'd like to dedicate your practice to today, then maybe now's the time. There's something that fills your heart with joy. Is there somebody that you want to send some extra healing to? And finally, just reminding yourself, above all else, to practice self-care. To speak kindly to yourself as you move. To choose only what's right for you. And to honor your body and the sensations in your body and that innate wisdom that we all have that knows what's right for us. So we're going to release the hands now. We're going to turn the palms up towards the sky. We're going to take a big yawning breath, bringing the hands together, looking up to the sky. Oh my word, is that blue sky? Yay! And then bringing the hands down to the heart. So I would start the class when we're online, just to remind us all that we're all together, because we've all been cuddle deficient, by having a self-care hug. So self-care hug goes like this. We give ourselves a little hug. So we kind of send one to ourselves here, then we change over the cross of the legs. And then this is like having a group virtual hug. So across, 16, 17 countries this morning, we're all having a group hug. For me, teaching online throughout this pandemic, it has really reminded me of our global connectedness, which is what today's about, is that we can still feel connected. And I'm so grateful for these guys that have been joining me online, that we can still be together, can't we, even though we're physically apart. So we're going to start to move. Now, this is a very grounding move I start most classes with. And what you can imagine is think of your sit bones and where they're connected into the earth. And what we're going to do is circle around your sit bones. Okay, so we're going to imagine, so in fact, the place between sit bones, our root chakra, we're going to kind of imagine we're corkscrewing it down into the earth. I can't help thinking about opening a bottle of wine there, but which seems really wrong about this time of morning. But You know what, the corkscrew going down into the cork, it's that movement. So what we're looking for here, and this is kind of a guide for the rest of the session, is we're seeking out the sensation. So our intelligence isn't here, 90% of our intelligence is from the neck down. So I'm going to invite you to really come into your body. If you close your eyes, it can help you do that. So you're not concerned with what it looks like or whether it's even the same pace as me. But just close the eyes and start to move and start to circle in whatever way feels nice. Imagine that your body is that plays on a potter's wheel. And what we're wanting to do is to soften that clay. So when the body's all hardened, it's a stress state. When the body's soft, the body goes, yeah, it's okay, I'm safe. I'm okay here. And for me, this is also a way that we kind of say to the body, let me show you how I can fall in love with you. So anything goes. It's your body. And especially in the morning, you need to move it in a very, we're playing with the fluid in the body. It's like gel in the body. And we're looking to soften anything. So what we can't do is go, if it was to try and go straight into a yoga pose, the body's not ready. You'll only get a certain way. This way, you'll maybe start to feel that the circles are getting bigger. We soften the body and we put it into receptive mode. Let's change over across the legs and let's go in the other direction. So try and stay in your body. So this isn't an externally guided practice. It's your body telling you how it wants to move, how it wants to soften. We go intuitively. Maybe you want to massage the knees. You should do this. Maybe the shoulders and the head and the neck are moving, just in a way that feels really delicious. And that's when you know you've got it. People think that you're good at yoga if you can do a headstand or wrap yourself up like a pretzel. Actually, what makes you good at yoga is being able to tune into your own body and to be able to gauge what's safe, what's not. When the body says yes, when the body says no. Okay, now we're going to take the legs out. Right. Now we want this to be comfortable and soft. Just straighten out the legs a little bit. Yeah, feeling the legs. We're going to take hands as if down into the sand. So if your body is contracting, so what we're doing, we're not stretching, okay? So we're not stretching muscles. We are softening tissues. So we're going to take the hands as if they're in earth. And then you're just going to draw some random shapes in the earth. So we are creatures of nature. You think when, an animal wakes up in the morning, they're like this, oh, nice stretch, and it kind of just, a nice big yawn. That's what we should do. It's called Pandipulation. What you'll find is when you stop forcing in yoga, the body actually responds. Way back I was teaching Ashtanga and all sorts, and like going at like yoga like it was a competitive sport. It was like my body was out of balance still, even from doing yoga. I was missing the point majorly. But also what I found is my body is, and at 48, in much better condition than it was way back then in my sort of 20s, 30s, because of the mindset. The mindset is a mindset of acceptance and grace for where you are. And it's non-competitive. It's not about how far you go. It's about where you are. I hear you're on the same page, Maria, with that. So let's bring the legs together. So another great way to ground us. Can you see okay at the back? Feel free if you want to come the front, yeah. We're going to lift up the right foot and we're going to just massage the foot. So I talked about grounding and earthing, and you must watch the earthing movie if you've not seen it. And to connect into the body is to work with the feet. These are our connectors. That's why whenever you can, go barefoot. It's probably the best thing that you can do for your health and well-being is to walk barefoot and to be out in nature. But of course, there's nobody that makes any money out of that. So that knowledge. So I'm keeping hold of the foot. Going to take hold of the right hand to the knee, and then we're going to move the leg around. So I mentioned that we work in arcs, spirals, waves. This is kind of linear, straight across, but what's happening in the hip socket, it's a board and a socket. So I'm going to invite you to just move this leg around randomly. So you're holding onto your right foot. If you mirror me, I'm using the other side because I'm kind of used to that. So you're holding onto your right foot. So if you can even imagine, like what we're doing is we're oiling the joint. Moving. If you imagine the top of the femur kind of moving around in the hip socket there. And then let's extend out that leg. And what we're going to do is circle the foot. But what we're not going to do is just isolate the foot. Allow the knee to bend as you do this. Yeah, see? So you're imagining it's quite actually right next to the sea here. So you're imagining you're a sea creature. So I thought we had to put an octopus in today because we are where we are. I go in the other direction with that leg. And really stretch through the toes. So we're trying to soften the tissues. Okay, we're not going for how far we go. I'll just take the hands behind and rest the legs and just notice the difference between the legs. Can you feel this leg's a little softer further down to the ground? The more you do this, the more you're going to kind of get it. But if it's new to you, so a different way of doing it. Let's take the left foot. Let's massage this foot. When I was in India, in one of my yoga trainings there, the teacher was always having to say to us, focus on your breath, not your pedicure. Imagine like our feet in India were like a right old mess. So try not to judge your foot as you're looking at it there. Is anybody like me? It's a pedicure. Now take hold of the knee and then circle this leg around. So what we're going for is freedom of movement. You know, it's not about the shape. It's about putting the body back into its natural state so that we're as strong as we are flexible, but also we're able to move in every direction. So, you know, we could be really good at doing that, but can we do this? Can we like move around in the whole thing? And I extend that leg out and circle the body. Is everybody at home okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Yeah. It's really, it's my biggest fear with this kind of thing, technology. That's why I've been grounded and barefoot. And then going in the other direction. Really stretching through the toes. That's why it's good to do it barefoot. Stretching through the toes. Now we're going to do both legs together. Knees are bent. Okay, then we're going to start to take the arms forward. And this is where it's not, this is octopus pose. Has anybody heard of octopus? Actually, I'll be surprised because it's probably one of those ones I made. But this is octopus. So you see like an octopus moving through water. And what you'll notice is that gradually you can go a little bit further without going, you know, if we just held and we went there, that's as far as you're ever going to go. When you soften the tissue, so you imagine it's like, the body's like chewing gum. It gets hardened when you don't chew it. So when you move in this way, it's like chewing gum. Now let's take the legs a little wider. Again. And then it's funny, Anna, you naturally wanted to do that there. Because we're going to walk, we're going to bring the hands to the side. And then we just take a little here behind you. Okay, not too far. Then come back through center. Now watch the feet naturally want to move. See the whole body's involved. And you just have a little peek behind you. Remember, it's not about how far you go, it's about how it feels. And just explore here this movement. What happens to the feet? The legs can bend if they want to. Here and behind you. Cool. And you'll notice that bit by bit, you can go a little further. But what's happening is the whole body is involved. And it's not a line. Remember, you are a plant. And this is how yoga is evolving. We thought we were machines. We're not. We're plants. Oh, it should feel nice. Is it feeling nice? Keep smiling. There's no grimaces, so that's a good sign. I'm not sure whether people are smiling thinking we should completely bonkers or is that because you're enjoying it. I'm used to that. I don't mind. But there is a little bit of method in my madness. Okay, to the left, one to the left. And then let's bring the legs together. You're going to stay facing me on the hands and knees. You'll notice I don't really use that. That's because I like to be sort of connected to the earth. So only my hands and knees here. So the hands underneath the shoulders, we're going to top the toes. We're going to soften the feet. So I'm going to invite you to see the feet are probably one of the most important parts of the body. We're going to soften the soles of the feet, the plantar fascia. So this style of movement works with the fascia. Fascia is the connective tissue. So it's like for an animal, right? Getting ready for action. Okay. And this is a pose that I dedicate to my cat, wherever he might be right now. Lifting one hand up at a time. Your paws are heavy. Spreading the paws out, gradually taking the paw. You know, like cats do this thing to relieve stress, don't they? Over the bed. Okay, now looking forward. We're going to sit back onto the heels. We're going to draw the belly in and tuck the chin. And you're going to push the bones of the shoulder blades onto the back. And you're going to draw the belly in. We're going to float forward. Then we're going to straighten out the spine. We're going to lift the tailbone, soften the elbows, and sit back. Now the hands, you maybe don't cat and cow. This is a little different. Okay, so we're rounding, coming forward. Then we straighten out. Soften the elbows, come low, the tailbone, let's go back. I think I'm just about ready to do the leg up. So, now you can do this at your own pace. So the arms are wider than the shoulder width apart. And we find this delicious wave in the body. Now I know some of you are maybe seasoned yogis, and if you want to do the more lively version of this, you can come to a down dog. If not, just stay where you're doing. You can come to a down dog, get the feet ready by walking through the feet. So the version of this from a down dog will be drawing the belly in, waving forward, bending the knees and waving back. So we get this nice wave. So I mentioned the body works in arcs, spirals, and waves. If this isn't for you, you can be down on the knees, you can do the same thing. So we're working with the spinal fluid, getting everything moving. Getting us a little bit warm this morning. Remember, if you can't breathe, you're going too hard, so come down onto the knees and rest. Or as a rest pose can be down on the knees with the head down. And it's not a competition. I love it actually when I see people in a class taking a rest in a child's pose, because that tells me that you're looking after your body. Now this last one. In fact, let's just do 3 more. I'll do 3 more, please. This is wonderful to do on a paddleboard. If anybody's not done this on paddleboard, it's lovely. Now floating forward, we're going to bring the knees down. You're just going to peel yourself down onto the belly. We're going to take the hands wide, and you're going to press the toes down into the lap. And then we're going to wave up. So how are we doing that? We press the toes down, we tighten up the thighs, use the strength in the back, the head comes up last. Your aim isn't to straighten the arms. Take the arms a little wider than you usually would in a Cobra for this one. Our aim is to, what we're actually doing, we're softening the belly. We're activating all the hormones that are in the belly, like serotonin, oxytocin, feel-good hormones. We're just starting to liven up the back. We're still warming up, so we're not attached to like holding anywhere or attached to making any shapes. We just go for what feels nice in your body. And now take your hands underneath your shoulders. Let's tuck the toes. And we're going to sit back towards the heels. We're going to walk the hands back and just come onto the fingertips from here. And then lift off the knees. And we're just going to rock back. Okay, so we're going to release out. Allow then the spine to be long from there. Now, if this isn't for you, for your knees, come a little higher. Or just come down onto all fours and just be grounding and pressing back. Okay, so. Okay, now walk the fingertips back towards the feet. We're going to press the heels down. We're going to drop the head. Now, what we're not going to do is straighten the legs from here. Instead, you're going to nestle the belly down onto the thighs. And then just let the arms be really heavy and wavy. You can take hold of the elbows if you like. And we kind of draw like figure of eights on the floor with the hands. So we're kind of scooping the hands side to side through the water. Yeah, you've got it. We're looking like sea vegetables now. That's which is good. This is what I'm going for. And start to lift the head. And as you lift the head, start to take the feet apart. And we're going to wave up to standing. So we get the spine more. The arms are like cutting through water. Yes. The position of the fingers is actually important. So, you know, I play around a lot like that. So notice what happens going like that to lead with the little pinky. And then we get this external rotation of the shoulder. See? Yeah, take the feet even wider. How many people aren't used to working off a mat? Nowadays, I'm not used to really working on a mat. I'm going to invite you, if you can, have bare feet. And really feel the feet connecting to the earth. So do you remember at the beginning we did that plugging in through the hands? We can do this through the feet. And in fact, we're going to come to, just release the hands now. We're just going to focus on the feet. This is grounding in meditation. But we want to start by finding our feet. The 3 points on the feet, I'm going to show you. Oh, a little bit through there. A bit too much nature. We're going to plug in base of the big toe, base of the little toe, and center of the heel. If you plug in through those points, it generally puts the weight distribution just right. Now, how far apart do we have the legs? You want the knees, so they're not going beyond the ankles, and you want the thighs tracking the same line as the feet. If you like to be really exact, center of the patella, the kneecap, second of the big toe. And then you can imagine the tailbone like a pendulum. Now, the Shaolin monks do this pose, and they hold it for like 15 minutes as part of their training. We're going to hold this position. We're going to drop the tailbone down. We're going to bring the thumbs to the navel. We're going to roll the shoulders back. Now, this is where we really power up into the earth energy. And we're only going to hold this for 15 minutes. Oh, you were always joking, didn't you? They all know I'm joking because I got to say that. They don't know me. But that's how they do it in the Shaolin monks. It's mental and physical training. They hold this for 15 minutes. This. Yeah. Yeah. This would be better. Next challenge would be 15 minutes holding this. Now this center here, where we've got the hands, so thumbs together at the navel, fingers point down. This is actually our center of gravity. So when we take it's like our power center here. Now see if you can close the eyes. There's a little test of how grounded you are. You may feel yourself wobbling. Feel this strength come from right where your hands are. This internal power builds like the martial artists have. They're slow, they're mindful, but they're super strong. Because the power's coming from within you when you're grounded. It's not coming from the mind or the ego, it's coming from within. Okay, so we're going to begin our sequence. We're going to release the hands. Lift the arms up towards, that's definitely blue sky. Hands come together, and then we're going to fold down to touch the earth. Now, once we get down here, we're going to imagine the hands in soil. We're just going to mix up the soil and the hands here. So shifting the weight side to side. Then we're going to gather in between the hands, a big ball of earth energy between the hands. So you're going to draw this ball up, this imaginary ball up through the center of the body. The hands come together at the chest. You turn the palms towards me. You reach the arms up towards the sun, get some sun into the earth. And then we open the arms out. It's like we're holding the sun and the moon in the hands here, or flower pots. This is kind of my sunflower sequence. Now we're going to bring the toes together, bring the backs of the hands together. Little pinkies come together. We're going to draw in and round the back, nice and slow. And then we're going to open the palms out. We should open the feet out again. So notice what's happening with shoulders. Everything's connected. Let's do that again. So we arch and round, curling in, pressing the shoulder blades onto the skin on the top of the back, and exhale and open up. Now we're going to reach over towards the right and take the weight onto that leg. Take your arm up and over. Now from here, watch this carefully. We're going to bring the hand down, the palm down. It's going to sweep through the water. Then the pinky's going to come in towards the waist. And then take your arm out. Back up to the upright. Now from here, we're going to hug tree. I love tree hugging. So we're going to draw the arm across the palm, facing inwards. I'm going to take the arm around. We're going to hug the tree. As he's squeezing the ball there into the chest. Now from here, as you straighten the right leg, imagine lifting the left elbow up towards the sky, everything opens up. Oh, that's slow. The slower you go, the more control it takes. Okay, now we're going to turn the feet out so the right foot goes out. Lift off your left heel and take it so it's parallel. We're holding this left hand upright. And we're going to bend this right knee. And then we're going to cut through water. We're going to go whoosh. Lifting up the left heel. That goes so the hip, the elbow, the knee are all coming around at once. You're going to keep spiraling, bending that left knee just as far as you want to go and looking over your right shoulder to a twist. From here, lifting the left elbow up towards the side. Ooh, come back through center. And the arms come out. Bringing the arms in, the elbows in. We're going to transfer the weight onto the right leg. Draw this left leg in. We're going to make a big star shape. So we're not looking to get the hand to the floor or anything like that. We're just looking to take up as much space as you can around you. It helps you fix your gaze, the place on the floor that's not moving. And we're breathing. Had that feeling like suspended animation there. Things like this. Okay, now bringing this leg around behind. A little curtsy. It's like a little curtsy. The right arm's going to drop, the left arm's going to lift up. Now, if you want a little bit more, you can untuck that left foot and just extend it away from you. And then look down towards the right. So you maybe feel where our stretch is here. It's not a muscle, it's a fascial line. It goes from the fingertips on the right hand to the toes on the right foot. Ooh, tough stuff. Stepping out. Have a pause. We re-ground. If you can, close the eyes and just sense the difference between the right and the left side. Everything's connected through this wonderful like magic beneath the skin, which is called the fascial network. It's connected to our nervous system. It's affected by It's our electrical frequency, basically. And you feel different, left and right side. Let's do the other side. Don't want to be rebalanced, like, oh, activate one side, not the other. Take an inhale. Lift the arms up above the head, bring the hands together. As you exhale, fall down and attach the fingertips down to the earth. Mix up the soil with the hands connected with the soil underneath you. I use sound effects sometimes because I find there's no words to describe what I'm doing. Sound effects are better. You can use them as well if you like. I find them helpful. Now take a big ball of earth energy, drop the tailbone down, bring the hands up the midline of the body, the hands come together at the heart chakra, they turn towards me, and then you push the arms up towards the sky, and then open the arms out, open the chest, holding the sun and the moon in the hands. Let's just have a check in here. I kind of want to show you what goes on with the shoulders, like just by changing the position of the hands. We'll turn them in. You feel that, like, literally comes from the spine. Turn them out. Everything's connected. It's not just a case of that makes no sense to me anymore. So what about this? Yeah, feel the whole body. So let's bring the backs of the hands together. Rounding, curling in, feet to look towards me. Exhale, open the chest, open the arms. Let's take one more. Inhale, round in the back. Exhale, open out, lifting the chest, stay really open. We're going to drop the left arm down, bring the right arm alongside the ear. Oh, now this hand comes down, it comes through water. Goes over towards the left. The pinky comes in towards the waist. We send it away and then we offer it out. This is really good for releasing all that tension around the shoulders. Okay, now we're going to hug a tree, so that right arm, we hug it in. We're in, tight in the belly. Now as you straighten up the left leg, the right elbow comes up towards the spine. Okay, keep this palm lifted. So we're going to turn the left foot out, lift up the right heel, turn it out, leading with the right pinky. We're going to spiral round, so the hip and the knee come up at the same time. Start to lift off that right heel, lift, 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 and keep spiraling around. However far it feels nice for you to get that delicious twist, you can start to drop the back knee down a little bit if you want a little bit more. So you completely regulate yourself. Now, as you start to bring the arm back round, the right elbow comes up towards the sky. Oh. And then we open it. Okay. Here's where we test how grounded we are. We'll take the weight onto the left leg or the right leg in, and let's take off. So really plug in through that foot. You're standing up. Behind. Start with a little curtsy, dropping the left arm with the right arm overhead. You can stay here if that's enough. Just looking for that long. We actually stretch fascia. You know, we think we stretch muscles, but we don't. Muscles lengthen and contract. Fascia, which is connective tissue, lengthens. If you want a bit more, you can take that right foot, point the toe, and then reach over, look down towards that back foot, and don't forget to smile. Now stepping out, leg out. I'm going to take the feet so they're parallel, bring the hands down to the hip crease. I'm going to take the tailbone back, the chest is open. I'm going to hold halfway down with the weight in the heels. Just fold here. Slightly tuck the chin so that you're looking down towards the floor. And just feel that nice sensation in the back of the legs. Now bring the hands down towards the floor. From here, you can play around with how far apart the feet are. So you can take the legs wider if you like. And you can bring the hands, even the forearms down to the mat. Maybe even the crown of the head for some of you, the flexible ones. But remember, we're all different plants. So this can actually be harder for people with longer legs. So just look down to the feet and make sure that they're parallel. And now take the weight slightly onto the balls of the feet. So it's not about how far you go, because the person next to you could just have short legs. Just see it that way. It's about how it feels. All different bodies. Now just relax the head, the face and the jaw, and just breathe. Just be. And allow it to be okay exactly where you are right now. Accepting that we are all unique plants in the same garden, and how boring it would be if it was the same flower in every garden, right? Okay, now to come back up to the upright, take the hands to the hips, lift up the head and come up to standing really slowly. Hop and step the feet in, and we're just gonna have a shake. Oh, right, so imagine that you can do without lifting the toes and just drop the heels down. We're gonna imagine, it's like, this is called shaking the tree. It's like the body releases everything and shake it down for the earth to take care of. Oh, so you can even, like, as you breathe out, go, ah, you know, like you kind of want to do that. Oh, like that. Okay, let's bring the feet together. We're going to take the arms up above the head. Gathering all that lining, bringing the hands down to the heart. Let's soften the knees and come all the way down to the floor, taking the hands to the floor. Come down one knee at a time. We're going to take a short little breather in a child's pose. So dropping the head down towards the floor. When you get there, feel free to fidget. Also known as wisdom poses. You can have lots of different variations. You can have the arms outstretched. You can have them down alongside the legs. You can make a pillow for the forehead with two fists. You can open the knees out a little bit. Whatever suits you. And just breathe. Just breathe. Allowing yourself to be still, bringing yourself into your body, and allowing it to soften. Imagine breathing out. Breathing out anything that the body no longer needs. See how long you can make the out breath. See if you can make it longer than the inhale. And allow the body to soften like clay into the earth. Good, and then slowly just coming up. Oh. Now, I don't know if I imagined it there, but you all looked quite nice and softened down. You know, we need this movement bit and just soften the body to ground before we release. This next part of the session, we're going to be working with a bit more releasing. We're going to stay down and close to the earth. Is everybody warm enough? Yeah, you're probably all looking at me and thinking, she's not cold. I'm British.
Yeah.
I'm British. This is like.
She's obviously British.
Yeah. I think a little bit of adrenaline too. Now it seems a little fitting that we're in this place next to me, it's probably the most beautiful sea I've ever been around, the Adriatic. It's full of minerals. It seems fitting, and I hope you don't mind, Hugh, but we're going to do a mermaid pose. But I mean, you seem comfortable with that, so a mermaid, merman, and I love this pose. So what we do is we start off on the knees, and we're just going to shift the hips down to the right, and we're going to open the knees out. Now, what you might need to do, which is why I said maybe bring something to put underneath you, like cushion. You might want to support yourself underneath your seat. But just play around with where your legs are. If it's not completely comfortable for you, if you've got any knee problems, hip problems, then just take the left foot out, but it'll look nice and comfy. So what we're going to do is we're still going to like soften a little bit. So we're just going to take the right hand down to the side, and with the left hand, we're just going to get some movement into, I like playing around with the sticky bits in the body. That's the technical term, sticky bits, places that can kind of get a bit stuck. This is our mermaid pose. So we're just getting ready so that we can kind of access a little bit more. Now, just extending that right arm away. Your option here, so we're going to sweep the arms through water. We're going to go like this. Okay, and then we're going to lift up the chest. Now, your option is to push down into that right hand and lift up the hips as well. Just lift the heart up towards the sky. And then we're going to drop down. The arm's going to go through water. I'm going to spiral around and look behind you. Now spiraling back round. I'm going to do this a few times. So the hand comes round. It lifts up, hits an arch towards the sky. You push down into that backhand. And then you open up, you keep moving, you go through your full range of motion, whatever that might be for you. Dropping the hip down, and then, see what I mean about side effects? Makes more sense, doesn't it? Right. Let's take one more. Spiraling to the right. This continuous movement, which has this soothing effect on the nervous system. And then the body softens, it's able to access more without forcing it. Okay, let's open the arms out. Release that hand out. So we're going to paint the rainbow again. So we're going to go over, reaching over. We're going to round, bring the hands through water, in front. Bring the pinky in towards the waist as you straighten up. And then open the arm out. We're going to hug a tree. Drawing in, going round towards the right. Lifting the left elbow up towards the sky. We up and open. And we open out. Now from here, we're going to bring this left arm around. And we're going to bring it to the side of the mat. Now wherever this is comfortable for you. We're just going to start to kind of press and explore. So wild yoga is more of an exploration. You know, if you look at how animals move, they kind of play and they explore. They don't go, oh, I need to go do like 30 press-ups this morning. They kind of just like jump around and explore. So this is just playing around, feeling into your body, feeling where it might be tight, pressing down. Yeah. Now from here, you're going to slide the right hand down on the mat behind you. Oh, now once you come down onto your side, you're going to have to lift this left knee. Yeah, you lift off the left knee and then you roll onto the back. Oh, and take hold of the knees. Now this is actually my favorite type of movement. It's called rolling around on the floor, getting soapy, right? So you imagine that like you're all like covered in soap and you're kind of like massaging yourself against the earth. And just feel as you move the knees, not just thinking like I'm rocking the knees side to side, but go into the body and feel where your body connects to the mat. And it's if you're giving yourself a massage against the earth, which is actually what you're doing. Yoga should feel like a massage. You're massaging out all the tight tissues, like roll onto one side of the back, then the other side. Feel the shoulders where you're holding on to tension there, and allow the body to soften. Now we're going to roll back over towards the right, extending that right arm out. You're going to separate the knees and use the left arm to bring yourself up to a mermaid. In the mermaid, this left arm's going to come around, and then we're going to change over the sides. Great, you all followed me. That's great. So we've got now the other leg in front. Yeah, so you've got your left leg, right leg behind. Yeah, and let's get some movement going in the hips here. So just finding some space there. See, most people are sticky around here. I have a sticky SI joint, it's called, which is sacroiliac joint, basically where the base of the spine connects into the hips. For most people, it's stuck, which can cause back pain. Even in yogis, and in yogis, it tends to be a bit loose. We don't want too much loose. We want stability and flexibility. It's a body of balance. The left hand comes round. We're going to go, yeah, whoosh. Option is to push down into that left hand and lift up the hips and heart. You go full circle. The arm opens up as you drop the seat down, and then the left arm sweeps around in front to twist and go over the back shoulder. Now sweeping the left arm around, pushing down into that hand, lift and open up. Woo! It's like a big good morning one, that one. I like the good morning ones in the morning. And then sweeping the left arm around, coming to a twist and looking behind you. Let's do one more, still super slow. Maybe you'll feel you can go a little further this time. Opening up. Dropping down. And spiraling. So we work with the spirals in the body. If anybody's into sacred geometry, I could talk to you a bit about this afterwards. And spirals are in the body as well. So we're going to take the hands around to the left now, and we're just going to explore pressing down. Just wherever your hands are. I'm not going to tell you where to put your hands. And you'll notice that I also don't come around and adjust people, because I can't feel what you're feeling. Your practice is to do with what you're feeling from the inside. So even out of COVID, I will come around and adjust you, because what I've seen lots of injuries happen that way. And also I don't know what you're feeling. So you know where to put your hands. Now slightly lifting up, we're going to slide the left hand down behind you. Ooh, sliding down, starting to lift off the right knee, rolling onto the back, bringing the knees up. Now this time, play around with the legs a little wider, right? Nothing organized. You're literally a baby lying in the cot. This is what we're designed to do. You're going to feel you're going to have a deep core activation. So not the legs just down on one plane, but just randomly out. Again, it's kind of like octopus, but on the back. Okay, bringing the knees so they're bent, rolling over to the left now. Separating out the knees, extend out the left arm and push down into the right hand to bring yourself seated. And then bringing yourself back round so the feet are in front. So what we just did on the back there, we're now going to do it on the sit bones. So this is one of my favourite poses, and it's called wildflower. So we're going to take hold of the back of the legs, and we're just going to start there. And all we're doing is it's a bit like treading water, but it's like we're going to be, imagine you're moving around in space. Now, if you're feeling quite strong, you can release the hands and just like, ooh, just like throw them around. I know, it's mad, isn't it, right? Everyone's going to go, what happened to triangle pose? I'm used to that. You know, we say, do the same thing over and over again. The body, is only designed to do those 15 yoga postures. That's all it's designed to do. We're not like that, we're animals. you know, designed to run around and climb trees and, you know, be out in nature, just doing wild stuff. It's not for everyone, and I'm fine with that. Now, taking hold of the back of the legs, making sure you've got space behind you and space on the mat behind you. Again, this is one of my favorites. It's around the back, woo, and you go back. Now, if this isn't for you, you can just lie in the back and just be rocking and just practice lifting off the hips. But if you're feeling pretty brave and you just want to be a bit playful, which really, to me, yoga should be, you know, you can open the legs, maybe even tickle the feet. Okay, just see what feels nice. And you're going to feel that the back gets this delicious massage as well. We're just playing around. Are we smiling? People smiling. I love this one. It's also very anti-aging, not just because of what it does for the spine, but also it kind of, well, for me, it makes me feel about 8 years old. So I think that's like anti-aging. I'm actually 108. How good it is. Oh, and let's rock all the way up to seated. Let's take the legs out in front. Okay, we're going to do some forward folding. Okay, so what usually happens when we do forward folding, we're just going to, oh, I need to get there. We're going to forget all that. Have a slight bend in the knees if you want, if you need to. What we want to make sure is that we're hinging from the hips here. So rather than going like that, straight, what we're going to do is hinge from here and we're going to reach forward and we're going to do it. Back, before we do that, let's pedal the feet. You know, like you pedal the feet in down dog? Yeah, start by pedaling the feet. Take the feet a little wider than hip width. Pedal the feet. So we're just going to, we're kind of turning everything around. We're not bothered, you know, about getting the head to the knee. We're not bothered about getting the hands to the feet. What we're looking for is for it to feel, to get that sensation of, oh yeah, that's delicious. Now let's start to, like your octopus, just like gently throwing the arms forward. This is a lot more effective. It was sort of just to say, let's go to a forward fold now. You maybe go there, that's as far as you get. Okay, we've got to chew the gum first and then it's pliable. That makes sense. Now it might be that you kind of want to play around with the directions. I notice some of you naturally want to do that, and that's great. You know, you might want to play around, make a twist. We don't want to just be flexible doing that. We need to be all different directions. I just had that moment there. I'm allowed to just have that moment there. I just went, oh my God, we're in the Lazereti doing yoga. Like, I dreamt about this. Shows you how manifestation works. Now, let's take the hands just next to the legs. We're all on the legs. And just land wherever feels nice. Make sure you're still hinging from the hips. So if you've got tight hamstrings or lower back issues, just keep the knees bent here. And then just fold forward. We're going to extend forward from the hips. And then you can curl at last minute. Okay, so they say it's not all right to round. It is, you can round. Just make sure you hinge first, lengthen the lower back, and then fold. And just be wherever you are without judging yourself, without that voice in your head saying, oh, you know, when I was 18, I used to be able to get. Be wherever you are. Is anybody at home? I'm muted there. I've just got noise. Can you just check you're muted? Not sure. And just breathe. Just breathe out, release. Are we smiling? Are we breathing? Just notice in yourself, you know, if that part of you like is going, oh, I really want to get there, I really want to get there. That's just ego. Just let it go. Just like be wherever you are. Be the unique plant that you are. Remember, sometimes it's then for your arms, then for your legs, just your physical makeup. It's no, never, there's this saying, and I think it applies to life. Never berate or congratulate yourself too much. It's kind of Let's do this again. Just be where you are. Okay, let's roll on. Now, what you might have found from that had quite a calming effect on you. I mean, I can sense it in you. So anytime you've got the head down like that, it really calms things. Let's take the legs wider. Now, now just like towards the front of your mat as well. Get right up on the sit bones. Now, this is an interesting little sequence, a little bit different this smooth. I personally love it. It takes me a little while just for you to get the feel of it. The main thing you need to know is feel free to adjust your position when you come down onto the front or in any position. And it's just about sensing, like we'll take one movement and then we'll move in that direction, and then the body wants to move the next part or needs to move the next part. Basically, we're going to come from here to turned round, facing that way, laying on the front. Okay, so how we get there is going to be different to everybody, but I'm going to kind of talk you through it. So, what we're going to do. Yeah, I find it helps to go kind of imagine jazz hands. Yeah, we're going to jazz hands to the right. We're going to place the hands down next to you here. And then this is kind of the first step of it here. Remember, we kind of did this at the beginning, like pressing down. Now, the next thing that's going to want to happen here is we're going to turn towards the back. You're going to notice the hip lifts off here, and this left toe is going to want to curl in. The right toe drops down, so the feet are starting to move. You can start to walk the hands around towards the back, and this left leg's going to need to move. Okay, start to look behind you, and then your left leg is going to bend. Eventually, just start to roll onto the belly and bring the hips down to lie on the front. So the hands are going to be underneath the shoulders, but a little bit wider, and we're going to do a little cobra from here. So you're going to press down into the toes, facing towards Ruth. So press the toes down into the mat, tighten up through the thighs, and then lift the shoulders, lift the head. Just a nice, gentle little lift to a cobra. That's it. Untuck the toes and have the toes pressing down. So toes not tucked, but flat. And have the feet not tucked, but flat. Okay. Then laying back down onto the front. So we're going to bend this left leg now behind you, and you're going to take it over to the other side of the body, over to the other side of the mat, so you roll onto your right. Yeah, you've got it at the back there, yeah. And then start to straighten out that leg as you push down into the left hand. You straighten up, but oh, look, we'll come back to where we started. Yeah? You got it. Once you've done it once, you kind of you got your head around it. I'll show you just while you rest there, just so you've got it. So I'm going to spiral round. Then the hips start to lift as the hands come around. For some of you, you'll be able to press down from here, get that lovely IT band stretch, you roll onto the front, and then you push down to the hands for a cobra. Okay? And this leg bends, you bring it over behind, starts to straighten out, we'll come back to here. Okay? So we're going that way, aren't we? Yes. Sometimes I have to do movements like this because it's more familiar. You're going to get jazz hands left. Yeah. Place hands down wherever they are. Start to creep the hands towards the back of the mat. Start to turn the feet in towards the left. You're going to start to bring the belly down. The feet, that right leg's going to start to bend as you lay down onto the belly. Bring your body all the way down to lay on the front. Untuck the toes, push down into the hands. Lift up to just a little nice cobra, wherever feels nice for you. And look over each shoulder. And smile at whoever's next to you. Then laying down, bending your right leg, bring it up and over behind you. That leg, it starts to extend out and opens out. So this is really my type of yoga, like rolling around on the floor. I love it. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Hands where we're going. Right. So we're going to do this like 3 times each side. So I just want you to go into the sensation and see if each time what body part is having to move to get you down. And where are you feeling some nice sensation? You do it really slowly. You're really going to get the feel of it all. Come down to lay onto the belly. Ooh, you push down into the hands a little. And then lower down. Now bend in the left leg. Bringing the knee up and over. Open it out. Ooh, we're back to the upright. Great work. Great work. Heading round towards left. Spiraling yourself round. A creature in nature. It's like you're a lizard. Rolling down onto the front of the Cobra. Nice and wide. You want the Cobra each shoulder. So I'm going to peer around. And then we bend. Right leg. Oh, come up and over. Should we do it one more time each side? Yeah. Is it delicious? I hope so. I hope you find it as well. I get excited about stuff like this. So, there and right. Spiraling round. Oh, turning. You keep moving. Keep moving. The leg comes over. You come to lay down to the front. Make it a nice, juicy, nourishing Cobra. Just maybe even having a little wriggle around in it. Oh, nice and slow. Bend in the left leg. Then it comes over. And just do the last side, just at your own pace. So we go. We can just do that way. Yeah. Yeah. Going left. You actually had to work a lot harder there than maybe you thought with the body, linking everything in. It's also very good for our neuroplasticity, so keeping our brain body kind of connection healthy. I'm going to guess what we need after this is we're going to cross the legs right in front of the left. Get right up onto the sit bones, sit with the sit bones lifted if you want to, and then take the hands down to the mat. I'm just going to creep the hands out, cat style. Get your paws, lay down, and then just soften, dropping the head down wherever you are. Just rest, just breathe. Feel free to fidget. Feel free to adjust the position to make it suit you. Really breathe out that out breath, that last out breath. Like breathe in and go. Like even make a sound. Just go. Oh, let it all go. And then let's walk the hands back up. Let's change over the cross of the legs. And did that feel nice and juicy for around here? Did it feel like, oh, I needed that. Yeah, that's how it should be. Yoga. So walking the hands forward, softening down, dropping the head down. Again, feel free to fidget. You do anything that your body's saying it needs in this position, as long as it's softening. It's like we're now starting to, that clay is melting down into the earth. Going into the sensation. And slowly rolling yourself back up to seated. So we're starting to wind down now. That's the good news. Take the legs out in front and just give them a good old shake. So once you're grounded, once we're kind of connected to the earth. The body has this amazing ability to reorganize itself. So the body, like the earth, is a self-healing organism. So this next one, I'm going to invite you to freestyle it a bit. So I'm going to show you what kind of the basics are. And it's called a knee drop. This is fascial unwinding. So we'll start lying on the back. And we just like dropping the knees down to each side. And then I'm kind of going, especially towards the end of the practice, what if we go, oh, what else might it need? Oh, it might need to like curl in. It might want to kind of, have a stretch in that direction. Okay, and then I drop the knees down. I might just sort of curl in. I might want to take the leg across. So the basic movement is a knee drop each side. And then you can literally play around with what you do from there. So if you lie down onto the back and bring the feet flat and start with them about mat width apart. And we start off windscreen wipering the legs, and we do it with breath. So you inhale, the knees are in center, and as you exhale, you drop the knees down one side. You inhale, the knees come back through center. You exhale, you drop them down in the other direction. Okay, now already that's probably going to feel really nice for the back. And then you can start to play around with it. You may even want to roll all the way onto one side and curl up into a ball. You might want to straighten out that top leg. You might kind of want to lift the hips from your knee drop as well. So a little interesting one to do is to drop the knees down and stay to the right, push into the left foot. You get a little mini back bend there. Maybe play around with the arm where the arms are. But when we tune in, and it's best to do this with the eyes closed. If you're unsure, just like be dropping the knees side to side. But if you tune in, the body will tell you what your individual plant needs, and it unwinds itself to put it back into its natural state of balance. And this is actually where the yoga magic is. This is where you become a wild creature in nature, knowing what your body needs in any moment. And if you want to, you can do a few rocks up to seated again. You can do some more kind of wild rolling around. Now, depending on how you're feeling, I just thought I'd add this in today because I'm getting a kind of playful sense from a lot. You can either keep with that and stay kind of just nice and relaxed, if you get the feel of that. If you want another idea, something a little bit more playful, you can kind of do the same thing from seated. I'm going to show you this one just if you want something more. So you can like just drop down onto right shoulder and you can kind of roll around in a circle. This as well is loads of fun. Don't do this if you've got any shoulder injuries, but you just take hold of the back of the legs, you drop round to the right, and we literally roll around. And you'll notice it takes pretty strong work for the core with this. But also you get the little back massage and then you can go in the other direction. And remember, it's just play. I remember one of the first yoga places I went to, I think it was in Putney in London, like many years ago, like in my early 20s. And I remember I was almost put off by it because everybody took it so seriously. And I was thinking, I want to smile. Can I? And I crack a joke and everybody kind of go. And it made me realise like what type of teacher I wanted to be, which was like not too serious. Because like it should be play, right? Why can't we smile in yoga? Did anybody see Eat, Pray, Love?
Yeah.
And do you remember the guy with without the teeth, Katok, he was called, and he had. I remember him saying to Julia Roberts in the film. He said, he said, "Why you all look so serious doing yoga? It's like, you know, in meditation we smile from the liver. You need to smile more." And I just thought, yes, that's it. So when you're ready, just start to lie down onto the back, have a rock and a roll. You can take the legs up in the air and give them a good shake. And then drop them down. Extend the legs out. Open them wide. Open the arms. I'm going to gently put the right pose. Long, effective yoga pose. And it's called the shimmy. It's a whole body shimmy. Because I know English isn't everybody's first language here. But a shimmy is like, shake. It's like one of that, shimmy. Now this literally, it's like moving the stuff out the glue in the body. So I'm going to invite, I'm not going to look. In fact, don't look at anybody else. If we all agree not to look at anybody else. And then just have a full body shimmy. Like literally shake everything out. Like just shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Yeah. Great. And then take an inhale and tense everything. And then as you exhale, breathe out over the mouth and just let go floppy. Ah. I think the word in Croatian, I don't know why I know this, is it mohavo? Floppy? Yeah. Now once you get there, so taking care of the back, you might want to have the feet flat. I call this starfish pose. The arms and legs are so wide. In yoga it's called shavasana, but the eyes further than the top. I like to think more starfish, like just flapping and spot, feeling the texture of the starfish. It's able to stick to the rocks, it's incredibly grounded. Now feel free to fidget. And we're going to melt. I'm going to imagine that we're all maybe around a fire. Like Martian or something else. And bodies at its most responsive. It's in a state of healing. It's when it's soft. So imagine beneath you now the earth, this warm, nurturing Mother Earth. Imagine the layers of the earth and the warm, hot, even ball right at the center of the earth and its magnetic pull. And as you breathe out, just feel yourself bit by bit being drawn down into the support of the earth. So it's like you're just going maybe a centimetre under the earth, and it's warm, and it's holding you. So you can just yield. Mother Earth itself. And this same earth that we're all connected on this morning from Dubrovnik. Wherever you are, it's this same earth. And we're naturally drawn to come home to it. So feeling that support, like a warm, nourishing hug, like Mother Earth herself is hugging you. Or you can imagine, is there somebody in your life that's the best hugger that you know? And that feeling of just, letting go and just yielding, softening into the support of the hug. Just let the body go. Let it sink down. Let it be held. And let yourself just be as you are in the garden. Maybe you can hear the sounds in the background of the sea. Imagine the water cleansing anything away. That's not you. that's not just the pure and natural you. Anything you don't need. Allow the water to cleanse you. So feeling the earth beneath you, holding you. The water around us, but also within us, cleansing us. The light from the sun, even if it's behind the clouds, giving us light, energy, nourishment. The air that we breathe, the same air that we're all breathing here this morning. And this space that we all share. And maybe you can imagine us all, everybody out there online, everybody here, the Lazereti. Imagine looking at us from space, like all just little dots dotted around the world, connected to this same beautiful planet. Us all together, sharing the same earth, same sun, same air, same space. And notice how your body feels. Like from the inside, can you feel the cells being activated? Can you feel this vibrational frequency? You might experience a little like fizziness in the body, this like gentle purring in the body. If you're feeling nice, then take the tip of the thumb, tip of the forefinger together on each hand and just press gently, just feeling that energy. Just making a loop with the tip of the thumb, tip of the forefinger, and sealing in this lovely earth energy of Earth Day 2021. So that you take the energy that we've built together with you, but beyond this moment. And just soak it all up. And then just feeling your body on your mat again. Remembering you're a creature of nature. Imagine that you're an animal that's just woken up from like a long breathing hibernation. And you just going to start to stretch in whatever way feels good. I'm not going to give you anything exact to do. I'm going to feel into your body and start to yawn and stretch and start to wake yourself up. Whatever way feels nice. Remembering Earth Day, we actually just entered the sun. It was the sun and Mercury in Taurus. So somebody knew, is that right? Is it the sun and Mercury or sun and Venus? I know it's the sun, isn't it? Sun and Venus in Taurus, even better. Oh, wonderful things going on with the planets today. So, and actually it was 51 years ago, the first Earth Day. Somebody knew that we went into Taurus about now. So the Earth is about going slow. So when you're ready, hug the knees into the chest, start to rock yourself up to seated or roll onto your side to bring yourself up to seated. So I refer to this place that we share online with everybody back home as us gathering around the virtual fire. So in my head, I've got this idea that one day we'll all get together again and we'll be all around like one big fire, like dancing and drumming, and, you know, being wild. But this is our virtual fire. So we're going to imagine that everybody together, everybody that's at home, everybody that's out there, we're going to sit round the virtual fire and we're going to rub the hands against the fire. Because it's a little bit chilly here out in Dubrovnik today. A little bit chilly. So this like warms you up. So rubbing the hands together, creating a little bit of heat. We're going to place the hands over the eyes. Just let the eyes be bathed in that lovely energy from the hands for a moment. And imagine where you are. Maybe you can picture where you are, remember where you are. And then as you slowly start to take the hands away from the eyes and blink the eyes open, start to see the day appear, all the magic of the earth appear. And then bring the hands together at the heart. And from my heart to your heart, namaste. Namaste. So thank you for sharing with me. I'm just going to share one of my inspirations with us was a certain song, which is by Van Morrison. It's called In the Garden. It really is my, I think inspired a lot of my work, which is no guru, no method, no teacher, just you and I in nature. So thank you for sharing this space with me today. And yeah, gorgeous to see you. And thank you, Mother Earth. She did rain. Yay! And lovely to see you. I'm gonna just show you guys. So you can. Would you mind giving a wave to everybody at home? So I miss them loads. So I miss you all back home, lots and lots. I could feel all your love today. So.
Anjali.
Oh.
Thank you.
Bye. So lovely to see you.
Bye.
And this is kind of where we are.
It was delicious, Julie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Did you notice halfway through I had to change phones? I think I put you into child's pose, so you didn't notice. I had to change phones. It's usually me speaking to the Lou in child's pose. But oh, so gorgeous to see you all. And a little bit of Dubrovnik love sending your way. Would you like another little pier at the sea?
Yes, go on then.
Mom's on here too, and she's crying, bless her, I think. Is you crying? She is. There's a little bit, there's Dubrovnik Old Town, so I hope you come and see us soon. Oh, bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Julie. That was lovely.
Julie.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Don't forget, you get the recording as well. So you guys that are here as well, if you want the recording to that, so it's was recorded to Zoom. If you just pop on there, like click on tick subscribe, or I've got your email. Just send me an email. I'll send you the recording for that. So, oh, gorgeous to see
Beautiful.
you all. Yeah. Hopefully. Oh yeah. That's what mindful. Oh, it's so nice having you there and just feeling your kind of the energy. Right. Oh, good. I know that.
Really, you might want to be in the middle, and then everybody like around you. That would be great. I like this back.
What should we do? What should we do? Should we do a tree?
Yeah, namaste, right? I like
Is that nice?
Yeah, I like namaste. Get a little bit closer together. It's okay. Let's do 1 second. Yeah, exactly. Show some love. We love Earth.
Should we do a love heart as well? I kind of like that. Do a love heart
Let's do
now.
that. Let's do as many as we do.
Perfect, you guys.
Look at me.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Perfect. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
So we're hopefully going to be doing, if you're interested, more active. I'm trying to get the Lazereti for a
Love it,
permanent
love it, love
But
it.
if not, I'm going to be doing probably a week class down on Banya Beach. Back home, I did yoga on the beach. And then also at Maria's got a lovely studio in Stuka. Banya Beach, that's there, isn't it?
Just put tears to me. But lovely tears and happy tears.
Oh no, please do. Please do.
You guys, Mickey and I are doing something kind of fun and cool tonight too. I wanted to share as well. It's going to be online on
Yeah, guys, there's something exciting happening. It's Maria's studio. It's a lovely studio. Yeah, we're gonna watch it. Thank you so much for coming. It was great to have you here.
Just like our thanks for coming.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. So just wanted to say thank you to everybody that joined us today. Or if you were live here, we had the blessing of the weather. We've had a great time connecting with people from I think 17 countries all over the world. I know. Yeah, I ran out of battery.
Picture. It's like me filming you. I'll show you. I just typed it in there. For every cheerleader. It's really funny because it's like they posted it on their page. Yeah. We got some killer stuff and everybody's on.
Oh, really? I cut out halfway through on YouTube.